That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
You are a sad, strange little man.
Crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. Isn't that weird?
That's weird, man.
It's strange.
What's up, campers? Welcome back to episode 100 of Camp Strange. No, I fucked up myself with the intro, but yeah, we're back to bring the spooky, wacky, weird, strange, and centurion. That means 100. I know a century's 100. I think a centurion is a warrior, but I'm using it now.
No, that's good.
Like this is. And before we catch you up on any of our longer stories, we got to catch you up on the news you may have missed. And in pure Camp Strange fashion, my news, both news stories I have, are very horny today.
Thank God.
So,
we probably have a similar one here because I have a very horny one.
Oh, fuck. There's two really good ones. I'm not leading with my favorite one, so I hope you don't steal it. But if you do, it's okay.
All right.
As British Columbia, the CDC for British Columbia says, in not the straightforward terms, but apparently you could try using glory holes for safer sex. They've written down in their little website, pamphlet, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, they're saying they have like a list of things that you can do in order to have safer sex, like use condoms, wearing a mask, refrain from kissing, wash your body with soap and water. And one of the things they wrote was use barriers like walls. Example, glory holes. Oh, I guess they did write glory holes.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, there's no other name for it. There's not like a PC name for it. It is what it is.
Like hole in wall. I mean, if you guys don't know what a glory hole is, don't worry, because the Global News cited Urban Dictionary, which I've never seen before, but it is a hole, where a man puts his penis through, and whatever happens on the other side that's only them on the other side, and God knows what goes down over there, But they're very very common in like truck stop bathrooms, right? Is that a thing? David, don't you know about this?
There was a legend that the very close porn store to my high school had one in their bathroom.
What?
I can't confirm if that's true, but that was kind of like the word through the halls. But from what I'm assuming is it's common within a porn shop. That said porn shop is now a dentist office, and we always like to joke about the fact that people going in there for the dentistry, or there's a good amount of those people who are very aware that it was once a porn store, possibly with a glory hole.
I wonder if the air smells kind of weird in there. Like
Probably.
Something's gone down in here. I went to a erotic bookstore that also had like, whatever DVDs and whatever the hell, and like sex toys and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
When we were over in Needles, California, which is like right on the border of like Arizona, California, and it was like 123 degrees there. It was crazy. We were just like boating and stuff, but we drove up to, I don't know, it was like some casino because it was on the edge of Nevada, and we drove up there, and on their way back, it was one of our buddies' birthdays, so he drove in a separate car. We're like, we'll stop and we'll get him something. And when we went in there, the guy was like, hey, what can I interest you in? He's like, oh, we're just looking around. And then a guy comes out of this closet, and it's like really dark in there, and he's just buttoning up his pants. And I don't know what happened in that closet, but
yeah,
I hope that the CDC knows.
In high school, as high school students can do sometimes, I wouldn't participate, but there'd be high school parties at people's parents' house where there'd be underage drinking. I was usually the sober driver in that time. But my buddies and I, we used to love to go to the local porn shop. Well, not the one I was talking about. I never went into that one, but we would go into the one next to Taco Bell, and we would go into the discount little bin, just like you see at Walmart.
Discount?
And we would find Yeah, we'd find the worst porno you could find, usually having to do with pregnancy, and strange other things like that.
Grandmas.
And yeah, grandmas. And what we would do is we would find a DVD in their parents' collection and replace the DVD.
That's the most David Stokes shit I've ever fucking heard.
Yeah, we did that a few times. A lot of fun. I've never heard anything back from that. I didn't plan to ever hear anything back because no one knew that we were doing it except for me and like two other guys that did it.
God.
But oh boy, that was one of our favorite pranks.
Okay, well, I'm glad that you were gifting it instead of taking it for yourself. So I'm like, if you're gonna just buy the worst one there,
yeah,
oof, big oof,
big oof on that one. But oh god, I mean, I didn't need to hear what happened. Just knowing that it happened made me so happy. I know somewhere, someone's parents' DVD collection, the DVD 300, is not 300, and another one is knocked up, is not knocked up, but it could be.
I never got to the end of it, but hey, we don't know how it ends. It could end in childbirth.
I'm still waiting for Seth Rogen to enter.
But I just want to end this little article that says, like, the CDC also, they want to leave you with this. You are your safest sex partner, the British Columbia CDC says. Masturbating by yourself, solo sex, will not spread COVID-19.
Do people call masturbating solo sex?
The CDC does. I'm surprised they didn't have it in parentheses. Making whoopee. Oh, wait, that's sex. Making hand whoopee.
Yeah.
Making bacon.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, so CDC cares about your sexual appetite. So go to your local hardware store and get one of those things that drills holes in wall and have a good time. Maybe you could just like reach around the wall and then you're doing glory hole and making bacon. Pulling your pud.
Let punch a hole through the wall. Earn that hole. No machine can do what these fists can do.
Anyway, well, you got another story for me, David? Or a story?
Well, unfortunately, that was my first story.
Fuck.
But I'm gonna go ahead and I quickly, as you're reading the story, because I already knew what it was, I found a new one real quick, scrolling through the absurd news stories. I don't have any background behind this, which this one you want the background, but I'm not going to give it to you because I feel like it. So I'm just going to read the title, which is Hostage Siege Ends in Ukraine After President Agrees to Recommend 2005 Joaquin Phoenix Film.
What?
I'll read that again. Hostage Siege Ends in Ukraine After President Agrees to Recommend 2005 Joaquin Phoenix Film.
2005 Joaquin Phoenix. Was it what movie was it? Gladiator?
I mean I can try to scan it real quick.
Gladiator.
Was that Troy?
No, Gladiator. He was in Gladiator.
I'm trying to scan real quick. I'm not seeing anything. The film Earthlings? The film Earthlings. I don't know what that is.
He's like, put those people, let them go and watch Earthlings. It's the most underrated Joaquin Phoenix movie ever. You're going to have a good time.
Here's the quote. Late on Tuesday, the Ukrainian Interior Minister, Arsen, great name, said, the film Earthlings is a good one, but you don't have to be so screwed up and cause such a terror for the entire country. You can just watch it without all of that. So I don't know.
He's just lucky.
I'm not gonna read it.
He's lucky he didn't recommend Joker. I don't want to spoil end of Joker, but don't give him Joker and give him any ideas.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Anyway, holy shit, that's weird. Well, my next story I have right here is this was my favorite. Man steals massive dildo from sex shop and he's still at large.
Oh man.
So, listen to this shit. So, in broad daylight in the beautiful city of Las Vegas, of course, a man walked in, picked up, and walked out with a 3-foot, 40-pound dildo hoisted on his shoulder.
So he threw it up on the shoulder, which means he's not trying to get away without being seen.
Oh my God, it's so big.
That's big.
It's the size of a child.
There's no reason for that to exist. I'm going to go ahead and say that.
Well, it does exist, and it actually does have a name, too.
Oh, wait, is it the Destroyer?
No, I think I've seen
okay.
that one. That one's always, that's a
Yeah.
top shelf item. That's like what you put over your mantle in lieu of your gun, or your samurai sword. You
Yeah.
just put the big Destroyer up there. No, this one you might have.
I knew some people in college that when they would have house parties and people would pass out, they would always prop the Destroyer on people and take pictures.
No.
Now,
Well, this one is named Moby for obvious reasons. And it retails at David.
wonderful musician.
It's modeled after him. It's crazy. That man is half penis.
Yeah.
Half talented. No, full talented.
Full town.
But guess how much this is?
How much it costs to buy?
Yeah. That's why
I'm gonna guess anywhere between $250 to $300.
$1,250.
Oh my god!
Literally, it looks like a small
What,
child.
are they charging by the
It
pound?
looks like a small child.
Is this the meat section at your local Safeway?
Oh my God, the thing's gigantic, but he's still at large, and hopefully Moby finds his way. If Moby doesn't find his way back home, let's at least hope it's getting some good use, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, no one's using that. That has to be purely of like comedy.
It looks.
No one's using that
It's when he walked in, it was on the floor. It like stands up on its balls.
because no shelf could hold it. It would just crumble beneath
The
it.
guy's like, "Oh, I wouldn't put that on any of these shelves. I used 4-inch bolts with extra super putty, and hell no, that thing's gonna fucking tear down this infrastructure. Nah."
You put it on a shelf, it's gonna shatter that shelf. It's gonna fall through the Earth's crust and split our planet in half, and we're gonna drift away into the cold space.
You can murder somebody.
Cold,
with
harsh
Moby.
space.
But
Just put it like that old prank when you put the water bucket on the door frame and people open it and it falls. You do that with Moby, it's gonna break a few necks.
yeah, you're gonna have a big old dent in your head. Big old dent head.
Yeah.
So David, you got another story or another news?
Yeah, I
article?
got one more here. Man arrested at grocery store admitted to stealing diarrhea medication every week. Every week since 2017.
Can you not bring up stories that I've been involved in? I really don't appreciate it.
I'm sorry, if you're stealing diarrhea medicine every week since 2017, you need to see a doctor.
Can't steal a doctor's appointment, David.
That's true. Yes, I am Mrs. Jones. You are a young man. No. I'm ready to see the doctor now.
Maybe he had Moby before this guy's.
He's just looking for something to seal that hole.
Yeah, it's like when bats come out of a cave and turn left, and like you can't keep the bats inside. They're just gonna come out whenever they want.
Was Batman really afraid of diarrhea? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
We don't know. They haven't told that
We-
origin story
we-
yet. There's many universi, and there could be a
Yes.
universe where Batman is afraid of diarrhea. So just
I'm not ruling it out.
well, I think we're all caught up on the news. 3 years of diarrhea medication. Wow.
It's just
Just a lot to
absurd.
think about.
Yeah.
But I guess we're caught up on the news, so we should probably tell you these stories we got for you today. But before we do, we got to remind you to get the best coffee in the game. That's right, we're talking Spring Hill Jack, baby. It's great coffee, and you need coffee to function, just like all of us. Let's not kid ourselves here. And speaking of anti-diarrhea medication, if you need to really, clean the pipes, if you don't have Moby, if you don't have this guy's guttural system, go get yourself some coffee, because coffee, the best part of waking up is I'm gonna stop. And yeah, so go check out Spring.
Do they listen to these? Do they listen to the ads?
We haven't got a cease and desist yet, but
Have we? Are you still getting coffee? Because I mean, I've been gone. I haven't seen any of these beautiful, speedy bean juice pills that you grind up and you put into some machine.
I had a reserve of Spring Hill Jack, so I've been drinking that, but it's basically almost gone. But you know what? We're loyal to them, and they're loyal to us. It's just been tough times. USPS going crazy, about to get shut down. So,
oh, tell me about it.
this is
My car's been in the shop for like 2 months
this is
now.
a weird ad. Drink Spring Hill Jack coffee at Spring Hill Jack.
Hey, Spring Hill, can you talk to Ford and get my transmission sent, please?
Come on,
This can all
throw 'em
end.
some beans.
Join forces.
There's beans in my hard drive. Anyway,
There's SpaghettiOs in my fuel tank.
so drink some SpringHillJack.coffee. Drink some .coffee. Yeah, go check them out. They're great. They're a very fun company, and they have great products. So there you go. David, let's get into these stories.
Yeah.
Now, David, Camp Strange has been around now for 100 painstaking episodes, 100 wine and beer-filled conversations, 100 mispronunciation-riddled stories. But in order to get to this place, we needed to trudge through the inner workings of this show to figure out how to keep going. And after much speculation and dissection of our art, I have finally figured out what makes this podcast function. Nay, blossom. Nay, thrive. The foundation, the cornerstone, the heart, soul, and mind that this podcast thrives on is that it is why today I will be telling a couple stories of what Camp Strange stands for. Our holy trinity. The science, the horny, and the holy whiskey.
Oh,
So,
God, I'm
so
excited.
today I've thrown together a little collection of some science stories, some famous men of science as we are. I threw in there a little horny story, and of course I wrapped it up with a nice little whiskey story. So let's get into these. So first I want to cover 3 men of science who, are known to have some quirks just like us. So architect and scientist Buckminster Fuller is most famous for creating the geodesic dome. Like Epcot Center, you know that? The sci-fi-esque version of futuristic cities and a car called the Dymaxion in the 1930s, apparently. I've never heard of that. But I guess he
That's because it's too fast. You can't see
he's
it.
a man ahead of his time. But Fuller was also a bit of an eccentric. He famously wore 3 watches to tell time in several time zones as he flew across the globe and spent years sleeping only 2 hours a night, which he dubbed Dymaxion sleep.
So he's basically the gorilla from Richard Scarry.
What? I can't believe you just shouted out Richard Scarry. Dude, okay, I used to watch that fucking show. Richard Scarry was the guy. It was called like Little Town, like with Richard Scarry.
Yeah, something like
But
that.
I walked into an arcade in Santa Clarita like a year ago, and there was one of those little like you put a coin in and like in front of like the liquor store or whatever, and you go upside down. You go up and down on it, and it's like a little rocket ship or whatever. It was one of one of those, but it was the worm from Richard Scarry.
The worm.
And he was driving
the little German
yeah,
worm.
exactly, germ worm. And he was
God damn it. That little fucking bastard.
he was
I want to find that little fucker's
he was
name.
driving an apple like an asshole. So, you know what? Yeah, I don't know what the gorilla. He only slept 2 hours.
No, he had like 12 goddamn watches.
Oh, I
bastard.
thought you knew his sleep schedule.
No.
But he eventually gave up his 2-hour sleep schedule because his colleagues couldn't keep up with not sleeping. So he's like, "Oh, you guys suck. You guys are too slow or whatever." But the genius also spent a lot of time chronicling his life. And from 1915 to 1983, when he died, Fuller kept a detailed diary of his life that he updated religiously in 15-minute intervals.
Holy shit.
The resulting log, called the Dymaxion Chronophiles, stacked 270 feet, which is 82 meters high, and is housed at Stanford University.
Do they have like its own fucking half of the campus sitting there? That's insanity.
I have no fucking idea.
He kept the paper business alive.
Dude, they measured his chronicles, his chronophiles, in feet instead of pages. It was 270 feet.
So they don't have a page count.
I mean, I could probably find it somewhere, but this one just gave me feet because it's probably easier to. I'll try to. You talk. I'm gonna try to find the Dymaxion.
They're still counting. They're still counting the pages. That's the problem. It's been going for so long that they can't. There's one guy that's like 80 something who's still counting the pages.
Oh my god. Okay, wait.
You want me to just keep talking? I can keep talking while you're looking.
I want a page number.
How about the weather? The NBA is back. We've got MLS playing. We've got MLB playing. The
Dude,
NBA.
they
their
don't
little
even have a
Bumble
page
thing.
number on here. They just keep saying it's 270 feet.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
They're like, well, this is a quarter page. What do we count that?
Holy shit. Anyway, well, he's a man of science, and I respect you, Buckminster Fuller. But you know what?
I'm trying to think of what my journal would look like if I made a log every 15 minutes.
Honestly, I don't even know if he was writing one word or like sentences or like paragraphs or what. But like, when does the 15 minutes stop? Like, if he starts writing in 15-minute intervals, like if he writes for 10 minutes, now he has 5. Oh no, does the 15-minute thing start over again?
I don't know.
Or
What the
does
fuck
it-
are you talking about? I can't count past 6. What are you trying to ask me for?
I just mean, when he stopped writing, does the 15-minute timer start from there again? Or if he wrote for 10 minutes, now does he only have 5 minutes until he has to start writing again?
I just assumed it was like he would have an entry at noon, an entry at 12:15, entry at 12:30, entry at 12:45.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, how long did it take him to write in these entries? Like, if... I don't know. It's
Oh, so by the time he's done writing, would it be like, oh, fuck, I got to do another one in 2 minutes?
yeah, like, how much time did he actually have to live his life when he was, like, busy writing every fucking 15 minutes?
I wonder how many entries were just like, just got done writing the last
Big ol-
one, so this is it.
I just watched the worm from Richard Scarry drive an apple into a children's hospital. That fucking son of a bitch germ worm. He's going to hell, and I'm taking him with me. Anyway, if only he was only able to see Richard Scarry. So let's move on to our next man of science. Richard Feinham was one of the most prolific and famous physicists. Very different job.
Very different.
the-
They both start with a P, though.
He was one of the most famous physicists of the 20th century, famously involved in the Manhattan Project. We know the atom bomb. Top secret American effort to build an atomic bomb. But the physicist was also a bit of a practical joker and a mischief maker. Ooh, you know it's always fun when you have an atom bomb near you and you're just pulling pranks on people.
You love pranking people, but you have the most powerful weapon in the world.
Blowing up it's like that Far Side comic where the guy's working on the atom bomb and the other guy's behind him with the blown up paper bag and he's about to pop it. No one's done that in a long time. When's the last time you blew up a lunch sack and popped it?
Well, I believe it was last week before we started recording. I was popping all these Amazon packaging.
Oh, that is
bubbles.
a new thing.
That's pretty close.
That's fun, but you know.
I was doing some of these.
Okay.
Is that coming through good?
Yeah. Thank you, David. Thank you. So, while bored at the Manhattan Project in Los Alamos, New Mexico, Feinham reportedly spent his free time picking locks and cracking safes to show how easily the system could be cracked. That wasn't the end of his adventures, however. On the way to developing his Nobel Prize-winning theory of quantum electrodynamics, he would hang out with Las Vegas showgirls, become an expert in the Mayan language, here's my favorite, learn Tuvan throat singing, And
we
love that.
We talked about that
We
last week, didn't we?
Exactly. And
Yeah.
he also explained how rubber O-rings led to the Challenger spacecraft's explosion in 1986. So he was basically just like solving all these like fucking. He's basically James Bond. He's like, I'm solving all these problems. I'm sleeping with these Las Vegas showgirls. Hey, ladies, you want to hear this? I wrote that song for you while I was building an atom bomb. And he learned the Mayan language. So pretty cool guy, I have to say. Very accomplished, and I wish he's another man of science that I wish to one day become. So our third man of science is British mathematician and electrical engineer Oliver Heaviside. He had a giant tumor. No. No, he was named before the tumor. No, but electrical engineer Oliver Heaviside developed complex math techniques to analyze electrical circuits and solve differential equations. Like, I know what any of that means. I don't even know what escrow means. I still don't know.
One day we will find. We're 100 episodes in, but we will figure out what that goddamn escrow
One day
is.
when I file bankruptcy, I'll have to figure it out. So, but the self-taught genius was called a first-rate oddity by one of his friends. See, the engineer furnished his house with giant granite blocks, and he also painted his nails bright pink. David, you've painted your nails black to keep from biting them. So
yeah, I need to pick that back up because the biting's gotten bad.
Oh, I'm down to the knuckles. And here's my favorite. He spent days drinking just milk.
Am I this person? What year did he die?
Are you Heaviside?
What year did he die?
I don't know.
Am I a
Too soon?
reincarnation?
But he spent days drinking just milk and may have suffered from hypergraphia, which is a brain condition that causes an overwhelming urge to write, which is a productive
Yeah,
brain.
that's not me. I was sending some mail yesterday, and I had to redo the little stamp thing that had the address because you couldn't read it. My handwriting's gotten bad.
Well, if you just like writing with your horrible handwriting, you might be this guy. But we just know that you're all milk, no writing. We know that about you, David.
All milk, no writing. Whole milk,
Put
baby.
that on a shirt. All milk, no writing. So,
That's how you get people asking you questions.
do you feel that you're not an extrovert? Buy our shirt. All milk, no writing, and everyone's gonna want to talk to you, or you're gonna get arrested quickly. But those were my three men of science. But of course, my horny story that we're about to go into is also science adjacent. Okay, a little bit different in science. Philosophy, which is, do we consider that science or is that art? What is that? What is philosophy?
I think it's just philosophy.
Well, people get
that's
doctorates in it, but people also get like doctorates in art, don't they?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I don't know what it is. All this brain mumbo jumbo trying to trick me into thinking I fell in love with my mother. I don't think so.
It's too
I don't
much.
think so, Freud.
It's too much for me.
Anyway,
Go back to your tigers, Freud.
go back to your cocaine and cigars. Ooh.
Oh wait, I just combined Siegfried and Roy.
Did you mean to do that, or was that a joke?
That was a. Let's go ahead and say it's a
Oh,
joke.
you milk guy. I do. You were fucking stupid. So let's go to our horny story right here. You see, Jean-Jacques Ronsard, which is French. If you couldn't figure that out, I might have pronounced that really wrong as well. French. Oh, damn. That's another staple in Camp Strange.
We just gotta bring them all. We gotta bring them all around town because it's 100.
That's true. So, Jean-Jacques Ronsard was a Geneva philosopher, writer, and composer whose political philosophy helped influence and progress the Enlightenment period throughout Europe. So that was when everybody was like thinking real hard. You know, that period where everyone's like, where do apples come from with worms that have German hats? You know?
It's true. Don't forget the leader hose.
He wrote some books, The Discourse of Inequality and The Social Contract. I think that's like his most famous, The Social Contract. And they're actually cornerstones in modern political and social thought. So he's still pretty relevant. He had some flaws apparently. Apparently he like gave up like 5 children because he didn't want them, but then he taught about like child rearing. So he was a flawed guy too, you know.
Well, I mean, just because you teach it doesn't mean that you're made for it. He probably, through his teaching, knew that it wasn't for him.
Yeah, have you seen PE teachers? They're all fat.
You should have seen them 15 years ago when they were winning fucking state, baby.
Oh, I remember 15 years ago, I let every kid in the class come and punch me right in the fucking abs like Houdini.
I broke 12 kids' wrists.
So, in 1782, Jean-Jacques Rousseau published his Confessions, one of the first major autobiographies. So he was the first one to do an autobiography too, or at least one of the first major ones.
Oh, wow.
So he was a real trendsetter, trailblazer. And in this book, he tells the reader of his need. Okay, this is where the horny comes into play.
Yeah.
So
Let's light the candles, everybody.
so, in this book, he tells the reader of his need to be spanked in order to become sexually aroused. David, it gets better. So
then keep going. If it gets better, keep going.
Just to explain, where he got this from, he attributed the development of his spanking fetish to when he was 8 years old and he would get spanked by his adopted mother, and then he would say, who would believe this childish discipline received at 8 years old from the hands of a woman of 30 should influence my propensities, my desires, my passions for the rest of my life, and that in a quite in contrary sense from what might naturally have been expected. So he's like, isn't it crazy that I just got spanked at 8 years old by a 30-year-old woman, and now it just like is a huge part of my sexuality, which is really.
I've got a good answer for that question.
What?
It's no.
No, in terms of what? You're not surprised?
No, it's not strange.
Oh, it's not strange. Yeah, I don't think it's strange. I love it. Apparently, people who like to be... we'll get to it. So, here's my favorite fucking part of the story. I love this man because of this reason right here. My favorite part of the man's fetish came when he got a little bit older, though. You see, Rosé was so spank crazy, I'm TMing that word, trademarking it. He was so spank crazy that he simply couldn't control his urges when he hit puberty, which in turn led into his favorite hobby he picked up while living as a drifter. The hobby, you ask? Well, nothing too crazy. Just a little dropping of his pants and running ass first at any group of females that happened by in hopes of getting smacked on the ass.
I was gonna say, getting spanked as a drifter, that slims out the chances of that good old contact.
So there'd be like a group of ladies just like standing there, and he'd fucking like pull down his pants and just like start running ass first at him and be like, "Ooh, I hope nobody spanks me." He's like the guy from Family Guy. He's Herbert the pervert. He's like, "Oh, I hope nobody spanks me over here." But it's just so.
Did he mention his success rate?
No.
I just think if I was a woman and I was out getting mimosas with the girls and a guy ran at me bare naked backwards, balls and back, I wouldn't.
But bare back, balls and back.
I think the last thing I would do would be to spank him.
Yeah, I think he was one of those guys who's like so smart that he was like socially awkward. Like I've said this before, there's those guys out there who do this thing where like a girl will like accidentally like you'll like walk by and like their hand will accidentally hit your butt and they'll be like, "Oh, sorry about that. I didn't mean to like hit you on the butt," or something like that. And then the guy will be like, "Ooh, an opportunity," and he'll be like, "Ooh, I gotta get even. I'm gonna hit you on the butt." And the girl's like, "No, mine was an accident. I apologize." And he's like,
"Take your top off."
Exactly. He's like,
"I gotta get even. Take your top off now."
You. And he's like, "Oh, you fucking creep. Go drink a glass of milk, you weirdo." Different guys, same origin story probably. But Rosé effectively was the first person to come out as a spankophile. and is one of the
Oh.
most famous spankophiles to the present day. And that's another word I didn't know, spankophile. And here's the thing.
Oh, so you didn't make that up. That's a thing.
It's on the internet.
All right. That means it's real.
Free news. But it's crazy because, like, it's just, I'm not one to be like, that's a weird fetish. Because, like, whatever, if it's kosher and you like.
Because you've got real fucked up ones, so
But
how could you
it's
judge?
kosher. I like dressing up like a German and jumping in an apple. But, like, that's the thing. Like, whatever you like is fine. But it's just so funny that this guy was like, not only is this, like, my thing, but I'm going to fucking utilize this in the streets as a drifter. He was a drifter. All he had to do was just show his ass real quick, hope for a quick spanking to get him on his way, hop on a train, keep going.
Yeah.
But, that's very cool, Rose. Wouldn't pass today. You would be canceled. But people would think you're pretty funny for like half a second. So, now I want to end with my final story, which is a little bit longer. But, of course, David, it has to do with the holy whiskey. Because we are whiskey men.
I was about to say, this was about to be your shortest story ever if you're about to end right there.
No. I have whiskey stories for you. Or one whiskey story. But
That's all I need.
I really wanted to round it out because, like people who haven't listened to this before, we are men of science. We are men of, not.
Horniness?
I don't want to say that we're, I mean, sure.
We appreciate the culture.
I mean, I'm a man of horniness, so I'm not going to run ass first at you if you're walking down the street, for sure. But
okay.
let's see how many many whiskeys I'm in.
To each his own.
How many whiskeys have I had? But but yeah. So, and I really just wanted to wrap it up with this nice whiskey story. So, this is the whiskey. Now I'm calling stories whiskey. Jesus. This is the story of the Great Whiskey Fire of 1875. So, It was the night of June 18th, 1875, in the Liberties area of Dublin City, Ireland, when all hell broke loose. Within Malone's Malt House and Storehouse on Chambers Street, 5,000 barrels of whiskey and other spirits sat huddled together waiting to be consumed by the townsfolk within the next couple weeks. Let's not kid ourselves. It's probably the most likely next couple days. It is Ireland. It's Dublin City. We got 5,000 whiskey barrels. How many people are in town? That's 2,500. Every man, woman, and child gets 2 whiskey barrels, right?
That's not
My
enough.
birthday's on St. Patrick's Day, and I'm half Irish. I can say this.
Yeah, I'm pretty Irish. Got a red in my beard.
Yeah,
I'm good.
So, as the night began to quiet, the people of the town began to smell something familiar, something unmistakable. But before they could process what was happening, a river of fire came pouring out of Malone's Malt House. You see, no one knows officially how the fire started, but what they did know was that the fire with the storefront. Within the storefront had reached the casks of whiskey rather quickly, exploding them and turning the small flames into a flowing river of lava that was now traveling down the city streets. It's pretty cool, if you ask me.
Pretty awesome.
Pretty fun. So the blazing booze caught fire to everything it touched, spreading flames so quickly it was impossible to do anything but run. But just to add to the chaos, you also have to remember that at the time it was not uncommon for farm animals to live within the city as well, either in the homes of like the people or directly like outside their houses, or also like they had like stables nearby and everything. So now horses, sheep, cows, and pigs were also fighting for any section of street not covered in liquid flame. So it's just like you and a pig running down Chatsworth Alley trying to figure out which one of you is going to become bacon the next morning. So,
some good
that's
competition.
a good I've raced pigs in my lifetime, and guess what? I never lost. So luckily, though, the Dublin Fire Brigade had arrived quickly to help control the whiskey fire under the leadership of Captain James Robert Ingram, who had actually been a fire officer in the New York Fire Department and was renowned for his unconventional strategies to control fires. And to speak of his unconventional ways, on one occasion, he had ordered his men to resist putting out a fire on a blazing ship in Dublin Harbor and asked the Navy to sink it instead. And he's like, oh, that boat's fucked. I don't. It kind of seems like he was like, he might have been a couple whiskeys, and he's like, just burn the boat. We're not going to
Just
don't
burn
put
it
out. It's in
It's in water.
I was
Just
about to say,
burn it.
it's floating in water, right? If you sink the son of a bitch, it'll put the fire out. So fucking sink it. So Ingram knew how fire worked, and especially knew that to pour water on the whiskey fire would be disastrous, as the whiskey would float on top of the water like petrol or gasoline and spread the fire throughout the city even more. So he came up with the plan. Also, how fucking potent was this whiskey?
Yeah, that must have been some fucking strong whiskey. I can't think. There's not many whiskeys you can set on fire.
The only thing I could think of that you like set on fire is 151 rum, because people put it on top of shots. I once had a flaming Dr. Pepper, or a couple, and I knocked over the shot that was on fire, and it spread all over the bar. And like,
Clumsy fuck.
it was crazy. We were in my house. I wasn't in public, thank God. But yeah, it was crazy. It's some highfalutin alcohol. So, like I said, the first thing he did was to send for soldiers and order them to pull up paving stones and pour a mixture of sand and gravel on the whiskey. So he's like, start tearing up the fucking cobblestone road and just like dig up the gravel and sand and start chucking it over the liquid fire that's coming at you. But he soon realized that it wouldn't be enough, as the whiskey started to seep through the sand. So now they're like, okay, now we can't touch the sand because the sand's on fire. So like, what do we do? So Ingram needed to think fast. He needed an abundance of material that was nearby and fireproof. And then it hit him. Horse shit! Piles and piles of horse manure lay about the city in every nook and cranny, and Ingram ordered that it be brought to Liberties by the cartload and shoveled back onto the streets from where it once came, to form dams to block the rivers of fire. And as the burning whiskey met the damp manure, it was soaked up, and the fire slowly began to subside. But it wasn't over yet. But I think that is kind of fucking crazy that there's like, hurry, grab a bunch of horse shit, and we're going to make little horse shit dams.
Yeah.
And then people are going to be like,
Get the beavers going.
yeah, and then like, how delicious is that treat the next day? You have little like donut hole flavored whiskey horse shits. You just like pop.
Ooh.
They're already
Someone ate it.
cooked. They're cooked. They taste like whiskey. They're all about the
They're
city.
sterile.
They're sterile. They're all about the city. And the firefighters approve them, so I'll do anything a firefighter tells me.
Yeah, that's true.
So you see, the fire was still lighting up buildings, causing massive structural damage, and it was headed straight for the city's maternity hospital and convent, where nuns stay. But by some divine intervention, which the nuns at the convent claim was a miracle, the winds turned and stopped the fire from reaching the building. After a few more hours of fighting and containing, the fire was now finally out. While considerable structural damage occurred, miraculously, not one person died in the roaring flames or from smoke inhalation. However, the whiskey fire did have victims. And David, this is why I chose the story.
All right.
See, apparently, as the city burned from rivers of flaming whiskey, crowds gathered around the edges of the flaming booze river and attempted to capture free drinks in pots, pans, hats, and boots.
Whatever they fucking
How
could.
fucking cool is that? Germworm was out there with like his fucking lederhosen hat with the feather in it, just like guzzling down some fucking whiskey.
Oh, he had a stein with him. With that little metal
he
top.
Lives in a stein. So the Illustrated London Times wrote that, quote, crowds of people assembled and took off their hats and boots to collect the whiskey, which ran in streams along the streets. 4 persons... Oh, okay, I'll just tell you right now. 4 persons have died in the hospital from the effects of drinking the whiskey, which was burning hot as it flowed. 2 corn potters named Healy and McNulty were found in a lane off Cork Street, lying insensible with their boots off, which they had evidently used to collect the liquor. There are many other persons in the hospital who are suffering from the same cause. 2 boys are reported to be dying, and it is feared that other deaths will follow. You see, the fire proved to be one of the most destructive in the history of Dublin, and the mayor set up a fund, and several £100 was raised to help those who had lost their homes and furniture, which is very nice. But 8 men were carried in a comatose state to Meath Hospital, 12 to Jervis Street Hospital, 3 to Stevens Hospital, and 1 young man to Mercer's Hospital, making it a grand total of 24 people hospitalized from drinking whiskey. You see, 13 people ended up dying, but none of the deceased perished in the flames, nor did they die from smoke inhalation. Each succumbed to alcohol poisoning from drinking freely of the derelict whiskey.
Jesus.
Isn't that fucking crazy? I mean, of course.
That's why you got to charge for that shit.
I know, that's what I was thinking, because I was like, I don't know if like Ireland has always had like the reputation of drinking a lot, or if it's stories like this that have really solidified like the reputation. Of course, like they like drinking, but like, do they like drinking more than like England? Do they like drinking more than like, you know, other European countries or even America? Like, I don't know what the alcohol consumption is like, but when these instances happen, it's really easy to point a finger and go, oh, look at you guys with your whiskey. So it is very interesting. And honestly, a pretty crazy story to just think about, like taking off your fucking shoe. I mean, I'm not above it. But
no, I'm not. Well, it counts on what shoe I'm wearing, but yeah, I'm not.
Exactly. Like you got to think, like, are you rocking a big boot? Are you rocking a flip flop? You're only gonna get like it's gonna be like eating cereal off a plate. You're not gonna get anything on that flip flop.
It's gonna be hard.
But I wanted to wrap this up with this. Now, although I am not sure of the future of Camp Strange, I am sure of one thing. I am sure that as long as there are weird, strange, interesting, horny, scientific, or alcohol-filled stories to tell, then Camp Strange will live on. Maybe not in podcast form, maybe not even with David or I, but in the curious, depraved, and strange minds of everyone who loves to look beyond the veil of normalcy and laugh in the face of the creepy. That is why I end my story with these 4 words. Viva la Camp Strange. See? I brought French in there.
Are you trying to say that you're done? Are you quitting?
No, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know what the future. I'm like, David, this is, you know how you fucking surprised me with your groomsman thing? Well, guess what, motherfucker? I'm out.
I quit. I'll do it on my own. Fuck you. I'll pretend to be you.
I felt like this was a very monumental episode, and you know, we don't know what the future holds, but I just wanted to set a little bit of a bookmark right there, and just in case anything does happen, because David, you are moving, correct?
Yeah, I am moving from Los Angeles. So but I mean, since March, we haven't been in the same state, and we've still been doing it.
Since episode 86 was our last one together. With Katie was there for that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we've been doing it remotely for months. And it's only going to be easier being that I won't be in the middle of nowhere, Montana, and I'll have better Wi-Fi, that the whole FaceTime and recording will work a lot better. So I think it will only be easier once I'm actually moving.
Not as much lag or anything like that, you know. So I think it'll get tighter and stronger. What am I describing? But yeah, so I just wanted to wrap up that with happy 100 episodes, David, and Viva la Camp Strange. Why not?
Beautiful. Okay, Tobin, so my story might not be as sentimental as yours for our 100, but I couldn't be happier to share this story on our 100th episode because I'm very excited to talk about this topic with you. So today I'm going to talk about the metal band GWAR.
Oh, you did hint at this last episode.
I did. And now, do you know much about GWAR?
I know they had a music video. And I don't know
Yeah.
if you want me to keep talking, but they were playing basketball with someone.
No, I don't talk about this at all.
Okay, I think they were playing basketball with Jesus in the music video. And I also think that they're like, I just know that they have like a crazy ass stage presence where they like chop people in half. Like
Yeah, I
Paris
talk about that a
Hilton.
little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. Kim Kardashian maybe?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Well, I went ahead and directly copied and pasted the band's mythos from their official website.
Ooh.
And it reads, "The story of GWAR is carved across the history of this barren and hopeless planet. But GWAR themselves are not of this world. Their story begins in the deepest reaches of outer space. Long ago, the beings who would become the rock band GWAR were a part of an elite fighting force for the scum dogs of the universe. For eons, they served as thralls to the supreme being known only as the Master. But one by one, each future member of the band earned a glaring reputation for being a intergalactic fuck-up. So they were banished, sent away on a fool's errand to conquer the insignificant shitball floating in the dark corner of the universe, the planet Earth.
Whoa.
Once here, GWAR shaped the face of the globe, destroying and rebuilding the natural world and giving rise to all of human history. Aliens to some, gods and demons to others, our erstwhile scum dogs fucked apes to create the human race. And this fateful unplanned pregnancy would prove to truly be disastrous. Their new album, The Blood of Gods, is nothing less than a sacred text chronicling the rise of humanity against their makers, and the massive battle between GWAR and the forces of all that is upright and wrong with the world, along with the way the band challenges the sins of their great mistake, from politics, pollution, and organized religion to fast food and factory farming. Humans are shown as what they are, a parasitical disease that must be eradicated before they suck the planet dry. Born of adversity, the blood of the gods is a sonic scar, a question asked and answered. Death cannot kill GWAR. Nothing can. GWAR lives, motherfuckers."
So, for any of you guys who didn't pick up on that, GWAR is a metal band, David? Are they metal?
Yes.
Okay, they're metal.
Yeah.
Jesus. I mean, they're intergalactic aliens, and we see
Yeah.
them as gods because they fucked apes and we're their offspring?
Yes.
And now they've realized
Exactly.
the mistake they've made. So they were banished to Earth because they were like the Master banished them because they were fuck ups, and then they formed
Yes.
a band here.
It's actually quite a bit like Invader Zim, the television show.
Oh, good show! I forgot about that show.
Yeah, because they had Zim, who was an invader who was a total fuck up that couldn't do anything right and was too like outrageous. So like, oh, let's just send him to this kind of like, planet they're like Earth or something weird like that, and it turned that that's the whole point of the show is they didn't think anything was worth at Earth compared to their planets. So now I'd like to spend some time to go over the current individuals in the band. Now, currently in 2020, none of the original members of GWAR are still in the band, which makes it kind of weird to me how that works.
It's none of the originals?
Yeah.
Whoa.
But regardless, let's take a look at the band. So first up is the singer, the berserker Blothar. Blothar is a hard one to describe. He has like a Caucasian skin toned troll like creature vibe, with black horns on the side of his face, a pig nose, a white beard, wearing minimal leather daddy clothes. His nipples are very large and pierced.
Wait,
It
real nipples,
looks-
or are we talking like fake GWAR? You also have to tell.
It's all real. They're aliens. We're not acknowledging anything but the fact that they are aliens.
Okay, then I'll just say this: for any of you guys don't know what GWAR looks like, maybe do a Google real quick just to see what they look like. But
well, I'm gonna go by and describe all of them,
Okay.
so you can do a little read along and you can look at their pictures while I read their descriptions.
Okay.
So yeah, his nipples are large. They look painful. They look
Are
bad.
they long?
They're not so much
Are
long
they just
as they
balloons,
are.
or are they just baloney nipples, or are they like long too?
I mean, they are very, very pink purple with piercings. they look painful. And in his they have little cartoons of these guys and their little profiles. And in this cartoon, he's wielding a small axe and a wooden shield with what appears to be antlers coming off his back. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be growing out of them or if they're part of his armor. He also has some nasty boy feet. Some fucking nasty boy feet that look like tree stumps with 3 massive toes and huge toenails.
Whoa.
And if you thought this was bad, I saved the best for last. So why don't you take those eyes of yours and gander down to his nether regions?
Oh no.
It is between his legs that you will find
He's betwixt.
not one, but 2 penises. Peni. A purple-lipped, sharp-toothed mouth below the dinkies, and 2 eyeballs hanging below that look like they're supposed to be like testicles.
So he has like 2 penises, a vagina with teeth, and then 2 eyeball balls.
No, I mean it's clearly a mouth. It's not vertical; it's horizontal.
Okay.
And I think the best part about this look is that during shows he shoots blood on the audience from both of his dinkers.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh.
So what's beautiful about this whole website of their profiles is that it comes with almost like a dating profile kind of thing.
For
Each person has like a bio. So his little bio says, recently summoned from the scum dogs distant past, this behemoth has taken the mantle of GWAR's new lead singer. So his name is the Berserker Blothar. His instrument is lead howler.
Okay.
It's a fun way of saying singer.
Okay, I like that.
His home planet is the world of mist. His height says Blothar is around 6 feet tall in his human form, but becomes 15 feet tall when he goes berserk.
Oh shit! I don't even
Yeah.
want to know how big his penises get.
Oh, I don't either. And his weight, it simply says cannot be accurately measured. His likes are hunting moon moose, ice fishing, reading the future in the entrails of his victims, killing, and meditation.
Whoa, I like that, reading the future in the entrail of his victims.
Yeah,
That's
and
dope.
so his dislikes are most things.
That's fair. I feel like most GWAR band members probably don't like most things besides maybe like moon deer, moon moose, and a couple other things.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's strictly to the planet, the world of mist.
That is a cool fucking name for a planet too. I don't hate it.
Yeah, it is. So next on the list of the band, we have Ballsack, the Jaws of Death on guitar.
Wait.
Yeah. So his little profile pic is it's a little bit more tame than the last one. So Ballsack wears a large helmet that has a massive metal mouth with sharp teeth, hence the Jaws of Death part. He also has armor that looks to be made of brimstone and lava rock.
Whoa.
Ballsack is also he also has some big ol' hooves from feet. Big ol' hoof boy, like a horse.
Like a hoof horse.
All in all, he doesn't look too wild. I mean, he does, but can compared to the last one. But again, let's all take a little gander to his danglers.
Oh my god.
And a man named Ballsack has to come with the hardware.
I guess you're right.
And that's right. Right between his hooves swing some big old blue as hell balls covered in veins.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah. So his bio, it says, the elder statesman of the group. He doesn't say much, but when he does, it's not much. Oh yeah, he plays the guitar. So his name, Ballsack, alias the Jaws of Death, instrument guitar. His age is pi times 10 to the millionth power. It's not an answer.
He's old.
His home planet is Inui. Anoi? Ennui. So I don't feel bad mispronouncing these. Yeah, I don't feel bad mispronouncing these ones because they're alien planets.
We're not saying they're made up, guys. We're just saying
No, they're just alien planets.
they're not in our lexicon. Yeah. They're not expected
Exactly.
of us.
So Ballsack's height is measured in at 22 and a half hands.
Okay.
His weight is 12 tons fully dressed, 98 pounds soaking wet. That doesn't make sense at all. His eye color, I'm not sure if he has eyes. Is the answer.
Holy shit.
Hobbies. See, I like this one. I like 2/3 of this one. His hobbies are wine tasting, home distilling,
Okay.
and his third one is contemplating suicide.
Whoa.
So, the next question here is on dates I like to, and his answer is contemplate suicide. And they also added, it said, what's his quote? And his quote was, "I am so very, very sorry."
What does that mean?
I don't know.
I think he would like
Who
the
knows?
wine I'm drinking right now. It's called Uppercut.
He'd love
He
that.
would love. I mean, I skipped on the 2 ball sacks wine selection, but
Yeah.
Uppercut's a good second.
I'm surprised they even had it in stock. So the next band member would be the bassist Beefcake the Mighty.
Okay, I've heard of Beefcake.
Yeah. So now as far as the visuals go for GWAR, Beefcake seems to be one of the most tamed out of all of them. Beefcake looks to be mostly a humanoid-like alien who wears a metal Spartan-like armored outfit with a lot of skulls on it. It's not too wild.
No. Tame for GWAR.
So his...
No balls
Yeah,
or
so
penises yet.
Yeah, I'm sure that's hiding under that little Spartan skirt. So his bio reads, "It takes immeasurable mass to hold down the incredibly heavy bottom end of GWAR. Luckily, there is Beefcake, the heaviest of heavy metal bassists." So, again, we're going to go through. His name is Beefcake. His title, the Mighty. His instrument, the bass guitar. His height. Sorry. His height is 1 CB. You know what CB stands for?
No, I don't think so.
It stands for cubic beefcake. That math checks out. His weight, verging on collapsing into a black hole due to my immeasurable mass.
Whoa, that would make sense with the whole Beefcake thing.
Yeah. So his age, he answers, "How rude."
It's weird.
Ho-
This is a fine dance between, like, obviously they don't take themselves seriously, but like being very hardcore and being very delicate, if anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wine tasting,
Yeah.
and then like plucking out your eyeballs, and then like
Yeah.
ponies. You know, which is fun.
Yeah.
It's very fun. I mean,
Yeah,
I take them serious because they are alien overlords. So I'm not gonna
it's true. Without them, we wouldn't be
teach
here.
their own.
I would love. I did the whole 23andMe thing, and none of it searched back to which of the GWAR members I spawned from. I crawled out of that egg sac from.
They should really add that to the ancestry 23andMe.
It'd be beautiful.
Which GWAR member do you spawn from? Be like the Destroyer's left penis.
So Beefcake's homeworld is the planet of cholesterol, and his hobbies are cooking, eating, noshing, biting, gluttony, chewing, gorging, consumption, devouring, dining, feasting, gobbling, having a meal, binging, nibbling, munching, overindulgence, pigging out, snacking,
Holy shit.
and most things involving food.
Oh my fucking god.
So, and then next question is, on dates I like to, and his answer is eat my date.
Ooh.
There it is.
Okay.
And his quote is, "Hey, look, a sandwich."
Is this guy actually really, really... Okay, I don't want to say under the suit because they are, like I said, alien overlords. But is this alien overlord very, very fat?
No. Which I feel like with all this, they could have made him a little bigger.
They could have beefed up Beefcake?
Yeah.
Okay.
So next on the list is GWAR's drummer, GWAAAAAARRRRRRRR the Gusha.
Are you fucking kidding me? Did you say GWAAAAAARRRRRRR the Gusha?
It is GWAAAAAAARRRRRRR the Gusha.
Oh, that's what I said. Oh, did I say the?
Yeah, no, I wanted to confirm for everybody it is DA the Gusha.
Okay.
Much like Ghostface Killa,
Yeah, or 50 Cent.
No.
Yeah, he's not 50 Cent. He's 50.
No, it's pretty laid out. It is the number 50 in cent.
No, written out it's 50.
So GWAAAAAARRRRRRR the Gusha is a real nasty boy, wearing red armor that looks like muscle from someone who's been skinned.
Oh, fuck.
He has bone-like armor and a helmet that looks like it was made from a dog skull. In his cartoon, he is playing a single snare drum that is being held on the back of some sort of sex slave from, like, Mad Max.
Oh, yeah.
So, GWAAAAAARRRRRR's bio reads, "Dog-headed GWAAAAAAARRRRRRR is the most obnoxious warrior and delights in pounding of all things, including himself. Hails from the wide, wide world of sports."
Wait, what?
Yeah, hold on now.
World of sports?
So, yeah, his name, GWAAAAAARRRRRR the Gusha. Instruments, the drums. Age? You want to take a guess on his age?
1 year old?
Old enough to wipe my own ass.
Ooh, Big Daddy reference? I mean,
Is it?
he just says I can wipe my own ass, He's like, can you wipe
There
your own
you
ass?
go.
He's like, He's getting taken away. Kid's getting taken away. He goes, I can wipe my own ass. I can wipe my own ass.
Oh, okay, I kind of remember that.
It's classic.
Yeah, so GWAAAAAARRRRRRR the Gusha, his height is almost tall. His weight is almost fat. His eye color, crimson.
Wait,
Home
me
planet.
or him?
What?
Almost tall and almost
Almost
fat.
tall and almost fat.
Fuck.
You guys have a lot in
I
common.
think so. I have dog skulls.
his home-
I haven't showed them to anybody,
Yeah.
though.
They're in that trash bag in your closet. So, his home planet, like we said before, is the wide, wide world of sports.
Please expand this.
I don't have an expansion. That's just what it is. You just got to take
It's already
it.
wide enough. There's
I know,
no
right?
expanding. It's the wide,
like
wide
to-
world of sports.
I like to think this planet is almost like a tube. It's very long.
Like a sausage tube.
Yeah.
Sausage casing.
So his hobbies include clubbing, which at this point I'm not sure if that means like going to clubs or beating things with clubs.
I'm gonna say it's a double entendre, but probably more the latter of beating the shit out of something with a club.
Yeah. So his hobbies are clubbing, barbecue, cleavage, and pretending.
So he's an improv guy. Maybe,
I guess so.
maybe we are very similar.
So his next question is when I get mad, his answer is smash, beat, pound, crush, slam, and pass out. much like the blackout of a violent drunk. Upon awakening, I forget why I was mad.
Well, that's good.
And
almost
yeah, I guess.
letting it all out. He's not holding on to stuff. He doesn't have this built-up resentment.
it's true. And his quote is, "This interview is over." So the next band member is on guitar.
Wait, how many?
And
I
that
thought there were
is-
only 4 guys. I mean, aliens.
No. Oh God, no. Oh God,
Oh
no.
shit.
So the next band member on guitar is Pustulus Maximus. It would appear that Pustulus gets his name from the zits and boils all over his legs.
Oh fuck.
He appears to be fairly human looking with a blue face, which I couldn't tell from the cartoon if it was supposed to be like a mask or if that's actually like the skin tone.
Blue face, baby.
Yeah, blue face.
Blue face. I'm a bad rapper.
And so he is barely clothed, and his clothing is an armor that resembles that of like an Aztec warrior.
Okay.
With a loin, he's got a loincloth, some chest armor with shoulder armor, and a helmet and knee pads.
It's hard to wear pants when you got on them leg zits. Trust me, I know.
Yeah, I know.
No, you don't
It just
know. I know.
hurts.
You don't know. I know.
So his bio reads, member of the Maximus clan to take up the axe and fight in the name of GWAR. So like we said, his name is Pustulus Maximus. His instrument is guitar. His home planet is the planet of Crust. His his height is tall enough. His weight is titanic.
Whoa.
Disease contracted, all except for childhood obesity and bird flu.
Oh, that might have changed now.
Yeah. His dislikes is having a good time. His favorite pastime is killing for spite.
Okay.
His hobbies are hoarding guitars, drugs, alcohol, frequent masturbation. This one I don't exactly condone or enjoy, but non-gender selective rape.
Oh.
Turning man against man. Searching for the remains of the Ramones to add to his corpse puppet band.
Yo, I know where the remains of Johnny Ramone are.
Well, don't tell
They're at
Pustulus.
Hollywood Forever Cemetery. I used to have to go there.
Oh, yeah?
I used to have to go there to do. They used to have to park there for when I worked at the Sunset
seances?
Gower. Yeah, this.
Oh.
No. They do have movie nights there. I've been to a movie night there, but you can like go and his grave is a statue of him playing the guitar. Big bronze statue.
Well, no. I believe that he's in search of the remains of the band itself, the Ramones.
Oh. What?
Yeah.
Oh, not like each individual member.
Yeah, he's looking for each member, not just the one.
Okay. Well, okay, that's fair.
So, his next question he has is, on dates I like to. He has a one-word answer, and that answer is anal. His next question is, when I get mad, and he says, destroy everything within arm's reach in a blind rage. His philosophy, I'm going to have to edit a little bit. His philosophy is, why choose between dicks and an unsavory word for women when everybody's got an asshole?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that ties back into the other unsavory thing you mentioned earlier.
Yes. And again, this is all on their website. His greatest accomplishment was he said stole rock and roll and brought it back to the Sulfur Barbarian Galaxy.
Okay. Wait.
I mean, that's the thing.
I do have a question though.
Yes.
Where does GWAR the word come from?
Oh,
I'm hiccuping and burping over here.
Well, I know the answer that I don't want to say, but the band's original name was like GWAR. Like it had like 7 G's, 7 W's, 7 A's, WR's.
It was like an
and then
onomatopoeia.
Sure.
It was like
they wanna pee on something, that's for sure.
yeah, okay, I get it. It was just a guttural noise.
Yes, I believe so.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. So his greatest defeat, after saying his greatest accomplishment, was eventually those bands turned to nu metal. His life goal is to be alone by making everything around me die. And his quote is "fuck off." So next to the next one of our list. He's a special one because
how many members are there?
We'll get into it.
Okay.
So this one's a little different because he is a member of the band, but he doesn't exactly contribute to the music. But the protection. And this is Bone Snapper, the band's bodyguard.
Oh.
Now, Bone Snapper is another nasty boy, but he's a green nasty boy. Bone Snapper is another member who walks around on his hooves like a horse, with a ghoulish face wearing minimal but sexy leather and steel armor. Bone Snapper in his picture is shown wielding a whip, which I'm not sure if that is a sexual whip or if that is a defensive
Some
whip.
say they're one and the same.
That's true. So, Bone Snapper's bio reads, a former slave turned slaver, Bone Snapper fought in the Scumdog army and was banished to Earth with the rest of GWAR. Melted out of anthropic ice. Just 3 days after GWAR, he spent the next 17 years trying to reconnect with them. Initially an enemy, then an ally, but always an object of ridicule. Bone Snapper still gets no respect. So, like we said, his name is Bone Snapper. His alias is the Cave Troll. His age is elderly. His weight is portly. Home planet, like this one, his home planet is a rock down by the river. Not sure if that's supposed to be a old Chris Farley, a van down by the river joke, but, you know, take it as you will. His favorite show is Marty Hartman. Marty Hartman. He says it twice.
Are
you
I don't
familiar
even know
with
that show?
I have no idea what the fuck Marty Hartman is. His last book read was I'm Okay, You're Okay. His last book written, he writes books, I guess, was Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Oh.
Is that a bad reference? Should I skip that one?
No, it's just like it's a controversial book.
Huck, yeah. Is that Huck Finn?
No, it's a separate thing. It's in the same vein for sure, but
Okay.
it's an insult used sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's a famous book.
Yeah. So his favorite celebrity is Nasty Savage.
Who the hell's that?
Who fucking knows?
Nasty Savage?
Maybe it's you want to look it up real quick? Maybe it's
Yeah.
like an alien celebrity.
Keep talking. Let's see. Oh, it's a band? Nasty
Is it a
Savage?
band?
Yeah, it looks like it's a metal band.
He probably he was probably in it once. His hobbies is just basking on a log. I'm not sure if he's supposed to be part frog. On dates I like too, and his answer is stay in my shell. And his quote is, "Hey guys, wait for me." I will also note real quick that Bone Snapper is the only member so far who does not have an Instagram or Twitter hyperlink under his bio to say, "Hey, follow me." So they really keep him quiet. So with all this lore, it's only right that the band would have a nemesis. And that takes us to Sawborg Destructo. And as you could get from the name Sawborg, this character is a cyborg, being half human, half robot. Sawborg is a human-looking monster who has various parts of his body covered in a orange metal robot outfit, with his right arm being a massive saw blade.
Oh, shit.
So his bio reads, loyal soldier in the Master's army. This scumdog was built on Scumdogia by another Destructo. After several Destructos failed on their mission to find the scumdogs known as GWAR, Sawborg was sent to Earth to complete that mission and bring GWAR back to the Master. So his name is Sawborg Destructo. His age is M equals MC squared.
Man of science. I like that.
Yes. I mean, how could you not be if you're half robot? His weight is 50 megatons. And his next question is, when I get mad, his answer is, I get even. His favorite book is The Art of War.
Ooh, Sun Tzu.
His yes, exactly. His planet, home planet is Scumdogia, like we said. His favorite show is just about the funniest show on Earth. If you don't get it, it's because you're not smart. You know what his favorite show is?
It's Rick and Morty.
His favorite show is Rick and Morty.
Oh, Pickle Rick.
The funniest shit I've ever seen when they turn that guy into a pickle. Holy shit. His favorite drink is Pennzoil 5W30. His hobbies are surfing on the wakes of comets and smashing them into black holes. You know, just for fun.
Whoa.
His goal in life is to complete my mission and bring the renegade scumdogs back to Master and fight as many enemies deep in the far reaches of the universe. Besides, he has promised us a barbecue when we do a good job. Referring to the Master, I believe.
Oh, that's always a good little. You know, when I'm at work and someone
Little
says you get a
morale
pizza
booster.
party
Yeah.
on the horizon.
Can't wait for that pizza
I'm
party.
ready to work.
Oh, yeah. And then all the Hawaiian gets eaten. And then you have to eat the cheese.
No one eats the Hawaiian. The Hawaiian's always left behind.
That's true. No one likes fucking ham on their shit. Get that out of here. So, last on our list of GWAR members for now would be the band's glorious manager, Sleazy P. Martini.
I'm on the website now and I'm looking at him.
You're looking at the pictures?
I'm looking at all these fuckers.
So, Sleazy P. Martini is the member who looks the most human, dressed like a 70s pimp. Sleazy P has a brightly colored suit with a massive pompadour haircut and money sign bling on his necklaces, his many necklaces, and his belt buckle. Sleazy P. Martini's profile reads, heir to a huge mafia fortune, this ex-Reagan aide threw it all away for the glamour of rock management. Since his discovery of GWAR, the competition has been ruthlessly reduced and the location of Elvis revealed.
What?
Pretty good. So his name, again, Sleazy P. Martini. His age is none of your business. His home planet is Oith, Oith, which I wonder if that's supposed to say Earth, but in a accent.
That's what I'm guessing. It's like something like Oith.
Yeah.
I'm from Oith.
Yeah. So his height is 6'6" plus 2 feet for the hair. So that makes him actually 4 foot 2 inches. 4 foot 4 inch. No, yeah, 4'6". His weight is 150 plus 50 pounds for hair. His symbol, I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to mean, but his symbol is just a money sign. His eye color is green. What else? His favorite color, green. What else? His favorite movies, The Godfather, Mean Street, and Scarface. His favorite drink, just like us, is Happy Time wine.
Ooh, I don't know that one.
I think it just means wine that makes you happy.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a uppercut.
I don't think it's... Maybe it is. His favorite food is Kung Fu malt liquor. It's not a food.
I'm seeing
Yeah. His last book read was How to Manipulate Friends and Intimidate People. His last book written says ditto, so I'm assuming the last book he wrote was the last one he read, which is How to Manipulate Friends and Intimidate People. The question is, when I get mad, he says get even, which is the same as the cyborg, right?
Yes.
So maybe there's a weird connection there. Maybe he's working with the cyborg. His dream or goal, he says, there is no number large enough to quantity that kind of money. So he's saying his dream or goal is there's no number to how much money he wants.
Typical managers.
Yeah. So that is the band in the year 2020. But like I mentioned before, the band no longer has any of the original members involved. And I won't go into detail on each of the former members, but I wanted to share some of the names of some of these previous members of the band because they are just as ridiculous as the latter. And there was Odorous Ungarus, who was the lead singer for the majority of the band's career until he passed away in 2014. So he was the one consistent member from the very beginning until 2014 when he passed away.
I was gonna say Odorous is the one that I've seen on YouTube videos. He went on like Jerry Springer. He went on like all these like morning talk shows, and he was actually like very witty and very funny, and like people expected them to be like inappropriate or like trying to cause a ruckus for like the show, but he was always like very cordial, and like he danced around questions rather nicely. They're like, so like you guys bleed on your audience, and he's like, well, it's actually in our home country that is a great sign of honor, and like he definitely has like an accent, so he sounds like Norwegian or something like that. But
well, so until I did this story, I always thought GWAR was like a British band.
Are they Norwegian?
They're American.
What?
Yeah, I had no idea.
Oh, he had an accent. Maybe he was doing an accent though.
Well, he might have been born in Canada. I mean, he was obviously from space.
True.
But I think he might have been Canadian American. But the band originated in Virginia. When the GWAR Warriors came, they landed in Virginia.
Oh, okay.
So there was also Johnny Slutman.
What?
You like that one?
That's a pretty good one.
Johnny Slutman. Mr. Magico, Hans Sphincter, who also went by Hans Orifice, Cornelius Carnage, Hans's brother Steven Sphincter. Now we also have Johnny's little brother Joey Slutman.
Keep it in the family.
Flatus Maximus, Nippolis Erectus. Lee Beto,
like libido.
Okay. Yeah, a female member, Volvatron. I don't want to say this one. Sorry, Mom, I know you listen, but Cock and Ball Slave, great name.
Oh fuck.
Scrota Moon. The Sexecutioner.
I'm beginning to see
Cardinal.
I'm beginning to see
sorry,
a pattern here.
A trend?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cardinal Sin. Another female member named Slimenstra Hyman.
Holy shit.
And so not all of them. So these are not all of them, but there are many people credited as GWAR slaves going through like the band listing. So there's a lot of people credited for that. So I'll do a quick count, which could be missing tons of people. But since 1955, and it's 1985, GWAR has had at least 44 credited members in the band.
Holy shit. But that's so cool though too, because like it's a band that can live on forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's always evolving.
Exactly. So it's like I don't even know if there's like another. There probably is another band out there very much like that, but it's very cool to see like this persona where it's like people are a little bit more lenient to be like, okay, yeah, that's fine if if we replace a member because of the mythology behind it. It's not just like
exactly
the Beatles, or if John Lennon leaves, it's like that's not the Beatles anymore. It's like it's still GWAR
exactly
because GWAR is bigger than itself, bigger than its members.
Yeah, and when John Lennon leaves, you don't bring in John Lennon, you bring in Cock and Ball Slave.
Exactly.
Cock and Ball Slave and the Beatles.
Was that Ringo? I'm joking.
Yeah, I think that was Ringo. Cock Ringo. And so, like I was saying, this isn't all of them. But now you might be saying, this all seems fun. I want to experience whatever the hell this is. But before you buy tickets to the next GWAR show, let's talk about what you'll be experiencing when you go to one of their concerts. I decided to watch one of their more recent concerts on YouTube, and the first thing that comes to people's minds when they think of GWAR is blood. Lots of blood. The band GWAR is well known for spraying the crowd with an obscene amount of fake blood. So don't wear white unless your aim is to show that you've been to a GWAR show. In this performance I watched, it started with the berserker Blothar asking the crowd, "Who wants blood?" And the crowd cheers as the band starts playing a song with the lyrics, "Who wants blood? You got it." As a man comes out on stage in a grotesque Donald Trump costume, and Blothar rips Trump's chest open, revealing his ribcage and vital organs as blood sprays all over the crowd.
Yo, I mean, honestly, you got to go buy a Hanes pack of teas if you're going to be going to a GWAR show, because you want to wear a white shirt.
You want to get covered. You want to show it. You're not going to wear black to a GWAR show. You want to show.
Or like buy a white
blood.
GWAR t-shirt at the show and then let the blood get all over you, and then it's like it's covered in blood because you went to the GWAR show, and like this is, that's like a cool effect that you can actually do.
They have to, like, if they don't, I'm going to be very upset, but you'd expect their merch table to have tons of white shirts that like say like, like GWAR, like I went to a GWAR show, and it's like you're expected to have it stained.
At a GWAR show. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So GWAR is known for incorporating political characters into their show, and it's mainly just for them to kill and spray blood all over the crowd. Characters such as Adolf Hitler, Saddam Hussein, George W. Bush, and typically whichever commonly disliked politician that's in office or, around. So GWAR will also take their violence on people such as Justin Bieber, Lady Gaga, Mike Tyson, Michael Jackson, Paris Hilton, and many, 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 many more. Basically anybody that's like famous. So I'm sure that they've definitely done like a Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, I think I've seen like her get sawed in half before or something.
Yeah, probably. So one of GWAR's greatest moments was when they linked up with Jerry Springer, like you kind of mentioned earlier.
Oh, yeah.
And they came on his show. And when they went on their show, they talked a lot about, just like kind of the mentality of people not especially like liking what they do, but like justifying what they do, and talking to like upset parents that their kids listen to GWAR and like trying to reason with them. And but so Jerry Springer, being the good sport that he is, decided to attend their concert that they performed before going on the show. And he came on stage, and they said, "Oh, we're going to bring in Jerry Springer." The crowd went crazy. And this led only to letting Jerry Springer be eaten by one of GWAR's giant space monsters on stage in front of the crowd.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
the video.
that.
You can find the video on YouTube. It's great.
Yo, Jerry Springer used to be the mayor of Cleveland, I believe.
That's insane.
Did you know that? Before he had his show, he was a mayor of Cleveland.
That's ridiculous.
I know.
I love it, though.
And then he got eaten by a giant space monster.
Yeah, I know. Rest in peace, Jerry Springer.
I love Jerry.
Jerry. So,
well, I
they're
just had a fucking flashback to eating chicken noodle soup and drinking a Canada Dry on my couch.
A what? Canada Dry?
Yeah, a Canada Dry. It's a ginger ale.
Oh, that's a name.
Schweppes?
No, believe me, I love Canada Dry, but hearing that name did not ring any bells because to me that's just ginger ale. Like I don't think of any other ginger ale.
It is a very weird name for a soda.
Yeah.
What
the fuck are they doing?
Canada
what is that?
Dry? It sounds bad.
I don't like it.
It sounds dry.
I had a drink the other day that is very good for anybody that loves their ginger ale. They make Sprite with ginger now.
Oh, I've heard of that. Did you go to one of those soda
really
machines that has like 150 options? Like
no, they sell it. They sell it in like 12 packs and shit. Someone bought one and left it at the place we're staying at, and I had one. It was good as hell.
Oh, okay.
Highly recommend.
Okay.
So there are endless tales of the antics of GWAR that could justify, a part 2 of an episode that I could go into more of like, behind who they are and everything. But for now, I'll end it here. So if you're looking for a good reason to get sprayed with blood in public or watch our president get disemboweled on stage by space monsters, make sure you get yourself a ticket to the next GWAR show near you.
I was going to say, it's crazy to think that, like, people who own those clubs are like, GWAR is going to play here tonight. Are you guys ready to, like, pay that cleaning bill? I mean, I guess they might use blood that doesn't, like, stain as much, so, like, they don't have to worry about it. But, like, imagine just being like, oh, we're going to spray blood all over the fucking crowd and, like, all over the stage and, like, get your cleaning crew here and whatnot.
You've got to have good ticket sales to do that shit.
Exactly.
Like, you've got to sell out everything to do that. I mean, I'm sure they've got their own, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like their own
cleanup crew.
Like, well, not just cleanup crew, but like I bet they have their own like deposit kind of thing.
Oh yeah, where it's like
an insurance.
Exactly. Like if this is not up to snuff, like here you guys could take money out of this, but like hopefully this will be, enough for you guys to make a profit, blah, blah, blah. I bet they're very understanding about it. But, like, still, it's crazy. Like, the spectacle that they put on, you mean, like, if I was ever in a band, I wish I could be a musician. I can't. Like, I could sing a little bit, but I can't fucking play an instrument to save my life. But if I...
Sing for us. Sing for us.
No. But, like, if I were ever a musician, like, that's one thing I would do. Like... I would try to add like spectacle to my show because I feel like so many shows now are so lazy where somebody just come out, play the songs, get off. I've seen some artists not even talking between songs, and I know sometimes it's like to get more songs in, but like I want that personality to show. I want like the fun, I want the memorable thing where I feel like you're talking to like my show different than you were talking to another show in a different town.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's been multiple times like I think it was Macklemore. I saw him twice fairly close to it because I think he did a show.
Because he's from Seattle, so you're from Pacific Northwest as well.
I think he did one of like the shows for a school, like for Washington State University.
Yeah, he played at my school.
And it was like a free thing. So I went to that one, and then I saw him at another concert, and he just basically said the same thing.
Oh, did he?
Like it was like word for word the same, like jokes, the same everything, and it was just like such a performance. It wasn't real.
Yeah, it was like
there's nothing to
bummer. It's weird to think that like people who do have like actors and musicians, like sometimes they don't have great personalities because like just because like that's their craft doesn't mean that they're really great at like interacting with people or even just like talking off the cuff. Like we think that they are, but they're not necessarily. So it's interesting to see. And I feel like Odorous Ungerus was one of those guys who can just like vibe with anybody, even though he was dressed as even though he was a space monster, he could still like, control a room, and like somebody can go in there being like, I want to fucking hate this guy. And from the interviews I've seen, I'm like, you can't do anything but like love this guy or have respect for him or like kind of like be like, oh, this is fun. You know what I mean? Which is cool. Yeah. So.
Absolutely.
Well, I guess I'm going to have to go listen to some GWAR now.
I wouldn't say their music's my favorite, but one thing I did want to add was that you're talking about like performances and stuff, and I have to say one thing that's impressive about GWAR is they're so famous for their shows and their performances, but you also look at their discography and like they have a shit ton of albums, because you have those bands that like don't have that many albums but tour so frequently.
Yeah.
But like they have a shit ton of albums.
They put their money where their mouth is.
Yeah, because some people substitute like touring for like new music. Exactly. They're crotch mouths.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, that would be, like I said, I don't listen to GWAR, but like next time they come through town, that would be a very fun experience, very memorable.
Oh, I would love to go to a GWAR show.
Let's figure it out. Let's try to do it.
Yeah.
Once all this 2020 thing. Oh my god, they're
bachelor party.
Do it. Anyway, we'll talk that off camera, off audio. But thank you guys so much for listening. We really appreciate that you did that. For 100 episodes, if you stuck around for this long, wow, we really do appreciate you guys. We know who the day ones are, and we know that you guys, when you reach out, it means a lot to us. And we love hearing from you guys. So keep it up, and we'll try to keep it up as well. If you guys want any more information, we have campstrange.com, all the hyperlinks, all the merch there. We got ratings and reviews and subscribes. If you want to do that, you can do that as well. If you don't, that's fine as well. We know you guys are busy. If you guys want to send us an email or anything, you can send it to campstrangepodcast@gmail.com. We have nothing going on. There's a pandemic going on. We could read your email, okay? So
have you looked around? There's nothing going on.
So send us something, and we'll happily respond. And David, we had a request to figure out what else we had in the stores again.
Really?
Yeah, one of our fans, Adina, I think, shouted us out and said, put more stuff.
We stopped doing it because it was a little exhausting to do every single week. We've taken a few weeks off.
It's hard to tell the stories and like have all this banter and stuff, and then be like, okay, now it's like speed round. Think of some weird shit off the top of your head, because we don't write any of this down, so it's always like,
especially because it's borderline midnight for me.
So. Let's do it for the old time's sake. Maybe you could write it down next time, and then I have Halo 2 exclusive edition.
Double Needler. Fuck with me.
Double fucking Needler? Dude.
Oh, baby.
I got a Warthog and a Wraith waiting for you.
I've got a Warthog in one hand and a Warthog in the other hand. I'm dual wielding the vehicles now, bitch. I've got Stanley Tucci's hair.
Ooh, does he have any?
No.
I have a top hat full of mushrooms.
Well, I've got a straw hat full of mice.
You piggybacked on mine. That was too fast. I have a Jason mask. And guess what? I'm showing up at the bar mitzvah whether you invited me or not.
Well, I've got a Freddy. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to piggyback again. I've got a quilt made by a polar bear.
Ooh, I have your uncle's Netflix subscription. And guess what? All he's been watching is My Little Pony.
Is that on Netflix?
I don't know.
Which uncle? I've got a couple. I know which one. Don't answer that.
I know which one. It's Apple Blossom. That uncle.
I've got fireworks that won't get off the ground. They'll just blow up where they're at.
Like when you light the fuse and you don't know if it's going to go off, and you start to get a little close and it goes off and you're like, I'm glad I didn't get closer.
Well, no. It's not like that, because this one is not going to take off.
Oh, okay. It's just going to explode. That's a bomb, David. That's a fucking bomb.
I might have bombs. I got your mom's bombs.
Ooh. I have 16 open tabs, and my computer is hot.
I've got Lou Ferrigno's habanero hot sauce.
And I have his big-ass nipples. Okay, let's end there. That was pretty good. Pretty rusty, but good. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. 100 episodes down. Let's see if we can do 100 more. David, do you have anything to say before we leave?
Make sure you go back and you listen to all 100 episodes at least 6 times each.
Do it. Just do it.
Just do it. What else are you going to do?
Yeah, drive across the state and do it.
Boy, but maybe skip like the first few.
Yeah, the audio wasn't
going
that
back
great.
and listening to that
the stories
first
were
one
great.
is
The
weird.
audio. Anyway,
it's very strange. I feel like it'd be very strange to listen to episode 1 compared to episode 100.
Oh, man.
I feel like it'd be very, very strange.
Yeah.
Camp Strange. I said it.
And let's do that there. Okay, and don't forget to stay strange.